And Sarah. She was like family. We don't want to do it. Send him there.
I went to girls meeting at the same show yesterday. And there is connection. I was in girls meeting now. No, that's Aaron. We didn't think she
Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Welcome to our Circle of Ivy members, guests, and new friends here to learn more about this outstanding group of women in philanthropy. Tonight we are pleased to share with you the impact that has been made for Ivy Tech students while celebrating our members and the accomplishment of our circle in Evansville. My name is Sue Schreiber, and I will proudly renew my membership this evening for my third year as a Circle of Ivy member. I would like to extend our thanks to our sponsors for tonight's meeting: Colonial Classics Garden and Landscaping Center, Sheets, Charles & Charles Elder Law, and the Jacob Ball Wish Fund. We also have door prizes from Nice Color Salon and Gracie Bell Mary Kay. And everyone who joins or renews their membership by the end of the day, Sunday, will be entered into a drawing for a free massage at the Bella Terra Spa. We like to begin each meeting by spotlighting one of the many fantastic programs here at Ivy Tech Evansville campus. Tonight's highlight is our nursing program. I would like to introduce to you one of our first-year nursing students, Jessica McWilliams. Jessica.
Hello, my name is Jessie McWilliams, and I am a first semester nursing student here at Ivy Tech. But this is not my first semester here. I spent a few semesters brushing up on courses because my previous BA I graduated with well over 10 years ago, so I needed to brush up. That BA led me to a career in brokerage finance and data research, but I decided to leave that comfortable career to go into the nursing program because I had a couple years experience going through in vitro fertilization. And so my husband and I went through that. We started up at Mayo Clinic up at Rochester, University of Iowa, and then finally we ended up here at Boston IVF. And through that experience, we met so many people that were compassionate and intelligent and just really helped us through that process. And they would let me talk endlessly to them about like new technologies and research and medications and injections, and just they put up with a lot of questions from me. And then I realized that they had planted the seed of nursing, and I just wanted to talk endlessly about nursing. And I figured that might be something I would do, but then nothing quite pushes you like a pandemic does. And so in 2020, I started looking at places to go back to school, and I chose Ivy Tech because everybody I spoke to here was informed, educated, kind. They made the process really easy, and I needed that because I had a lot going on in personal life. I had a young family, juggling a career still, so I ended up here. And that now that I'm in the nursing program, my classmates and I are really in it together. We study together, we practice together, we really practice those lab assignments together. And I will say, the thing that helped me the most in the lab assignments is the realistic equipment that I got to use, because I didn't have a background in healthcare. And so practicing with that equipment in lab helped me really have a comfort and base when I got to clinicals. And with those clinicals, I was able to not spend time on a learning point and try to figure something out. I was able to really take in that clinical experience. And now that we're wrapping up this semester's course of clinicals, I can say that it was a successful clinical experience. I was able to really take it all in while I was there, and those successful clinicals are really going to help me on my nursing practice journey. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who's investing in the program. I really feel like I'm getting a great education here. So thank you.
Thank you. Isn't that wonderful that she chose Ivy Tech, because she's a bright young lady and we're glad to have her here. It's really amazing to consider how Ivy Tech impacts our local community. Each program elevates our students, changing their lives and ours. When Circle of Ivy supports students through programs funded, we are nourishing the future of Ivy Tech and our community. Let's take a moment to review the accomplishments of our Circle over the last 6 years. As you can see, the impact we have on our students is very closely related to our level of membership and the generous gifts given. I'm proud to share that over the last 6 years, the Evansville Circle of Ivy has grown to the second largest circle in the state and has awarded $46,850 to support student needs around campus. I think that gets a second round. Let's take a look at what we have helped to accomplish over the years and the impact we have made on the Ivy Tech community. In 2016, we began with 6 members. With $950 to award, our circle voted to support Gloria's Garden, an initiative to utilize a property space adjacent to the campus parking lot to support students by giving them access to free, fresh produce. Today, Gloria's Garden continues to grow and is in the final steps before beginning construction to expand the food planning area and also incorporate an outdoor learning space for our students.
In 2017, we grew to 10 members, and we awarded $1,700 to support the Go-Kart program. The Go-Kart program partnered Ivy Tech students with Castle South Middle School students to build and race go-karts together as part of the Purdue University EV Grand Prix program. Circle of Ivy's funding of this program led it to become a regularly funded program at the college, exposing dozens of young people to the excitement of STEM opportunities and programs, and some of the original program students are actually now attending Ivy Tech studying engineering and technology. And I'd like to introduce Chris Kaufman and Tom Martin, who are both part of this original program. Sorry, so they can hear you all the way in Tennessee.
Even better. My name is Chris Kaufman. I'm the Automotive Program Chair here at Ivy Tech. This is Tom Martin. He's the technology instructor. Was at Castle South, now at Tecumseh. high school, middle school, so we're kind of moving the go-kart program over there. In a few minutes, I'll let Tom tell you what his plans to do with it going further in the future is. This has been a great program. My goal with it, sometimes you get stuff thrown on you and with no idea of what you're supposed to do with it, no instruction on what you're supposed to do with it. And I think I got a call from someone at Systems Office several years ago and said, hey, you're getting 4 go-karts and these kits, go ahead and build them, do what you want with them. Cool, we'll do that. So I thought, let's get younger kids involved, middle school kids, high school kids, have some of my students in the automotive program, kind of mentor them, help them with building it. Tom and I created lesson plans with it. We put together, we taught students how to solder, how to build circuits, how to read some simple wiring diagrams. All this stuff you see on the card, Tom was teaching the middle school kids 3D printed this stuff. We taught them how to cut out the metal. We did a little bit of fabricating and welding. We taught them about doing alignments on the cards. We taught them gear ratios, changing the gear ratios to get different speeds and different performance out of the cards. Taught them about lithium-ion batteries. Taught them about motor generators. We taught them about battery management systems. Programming. We even had some programming involved in that to change how the batteries deplete, how fast they'll deplete, recharging of the batteries. So it was a lot of fun. The kids always enjoy it. They have a blast. In the past, we used to always have the race at the Indianapolis 500. So that was always a great opportunity too, because it was during the time that the 500 practice rounds were going on. And a lot of the drivers, the team drivers and stuff, would come and talk to the students, talk to them about opportunities in the racing world and all that good stuff. So they got to meet Mitch Daniels one time, so they really loved that. We got a picture with everybody with Mitch Daniels. So it's been a great program, but of course then COVID hit and kind of put a stop on it for a while. Moving forward in the future, they're going to start having the races at Purdue again. So it won't be at Indianapolis. I'll let Tom talk to you about what his plans with it going forward are.
Okay, just going forward, what we plan, or what I plan on doing, and I've been talking to Chris about it, is offering it as a class, so students can take the class. Students who are interested when it comes to race preparation and all that, if they're interested in those things, then they would be able to go and basically be the pit crew for the college students. And it actually works out really well, because it's one less safety thing I got to worry about, kids driving. I watch my own kids race and it scares me. So what we're planning on doing is using it as a class, instructional, and then going from there with letting students help kind of facilitate putting it together and performing as part of the pit crew for the college students. And that just seems to work out best for us. We probably put anywhere from, I have to guess here, we've done this for what, 5 years, 6 years? There's probably been anywhere from 50 to 100 students involved total. We started off with just 4 students, built the first card, and we were both looking at it like, I've never seen anything like this.
It was a huge learning curve in the beginning.
The technology in it was so advanced that, at the time, I'd never seen anything like it. So it was just one step at a time, broken parts here and there, and you kind of learn. And it went from 4 to 8, and then from 8 to like 16, and we were at our max capacity with students when it comes to, carts and having a certain amount, you want a certain amount of students per cart. If you get too many students on a cart, then it gets kind of dangerous and things like that. But for me, the most important thing I think this go-kart program does is it plants a seed. Because a lot of students, younger, middle school, high school age or level, they don't understand the opportunities that are out there when they're working on things like this. They don't know about becoming an automotive technician. They don't know about mechanical engineering or any other electrical engineering or anything like that. So I think the most important thing that the go-kart thing does is it plants a seed. And just a couple of stories, you know, I will admit this, but usually in middle school and high school, girls are better at this than the boys are. I kid you not.
They're more focused.
They are way more focused. You know, boys are like...
It's like herding cats with some of the boys.
Yeah.
I will admit that.
I feel like it was a success story. We had a young lady, hated it. She absolutely hated it. She hated getting dirty. She hated fooling around with it. And I kept telling her, just stick with it. Just stick with it. I think you'll be all right. She stuck with it. Absolutely hated it, which was fine. But for her in her life, she was somewhere better than where she would have been. She would have been out on the street doing things that she probably shouldn't have been doing. Instead, she was in my classroom, angry that she had to take a motor apart, or angry that she had to take, you know, help weld something together. But she was there. And you know, I don't know that she will ever be interested in those things, and that's okay. If she's not, that's okay. But it kept her from being somewhere she didn't need to be. Another success story, probably one of my favorite students I've ever had, and I've even told her this. Her name's Abby. She contacted me when she went to Castle. She was a sophomore, and she goes, man, she said, are you doing the go-karts? And I was, yeah, we're doing the go-karts. She said, I really wish I could participate. And I was like, you know, if you want to come over and help, that's fine. Help kind of facilitate, because you know your way around it. You've done this. And she struggled at first. She did struggle. But she really caught on. And she contacted me the next year, and she said, hey, I want to thank you for that opportunity with the go-karts. I said, oh yeah? She said, I'm going to enroll at Murray State, and I'm getting into mechanical engineering because of the go-karts and the go-kart program. So not only did she's I think either this year or next year is her senior year, and she's like one of the top students in her class. So you know, that's those stories, no matter how large or how small they seem, that's the point of the go-kart program. So.
Thank you.
Even though we haven't won a race, we've gotten really close. And the last year we did it, what was the trophy we won? Best design?
Yeah.
Best design. So we did win that.
They were completely impressed with our students' ability to 3D print, and sometimes I was completely impressed.
Especially 8th graders.
Yeah.
Thank you guys very much.
Those are seeds planted and nurtured by your Circle of Ivy, so thank you. The Circle had grown to 32 members in 2018 and had $3,200 to award. That year, we partnered with Cybersecurity Program and supported the students in participating in the National Security Administration Cyber Games, where they competed with college students from all around the country and ranked within the top 20 of over 400 competing colleges. Several of our students were offered jobs shortly after receiving their scores for these games.
In In 2019, our circle grew to 46 members. As we've continued to plant these seeds, we've been nourishing them with our future students, and we had $5,500 to award that year. We funded 2 programs. The first was a Next Generation NCLEX Prep program to ensure that our nursing students had the best possible study preparations for the National Council Licensure Examination, which we call the NCLEX. And the second program originally chosen for this funding year was an experiential learning program for our ASAP students, which is the Associate Accelerated Program. And these students were very excited, as you can tell. This is actually, they took a video of telling the students that they had received the funding to go to Washington, D.C. for 2 weeks to learn art history and several other programs. And that is their program coordinator, Scott, who took a picture of himself as we told him to do as well. So sadly, that particular trip had to be canceled because they were scheduled to go in April of 2020. And we were all very sad for them. Scott says it was, without going too far into it, devastating. So what they ended up getting funded instead was a program called DADS, Discussions About Diversity. And the discussions about diversity were held the next year, and it was all done virtually, and was actually done in conjunction with our Office of Diversity and Academic Affairs, and was some of the highest attended virtual programming that we had. So with that, I would actually like to welcome Gail, wherever, there you are, Gail. So Gail Lindsay is the Dean of the Barbara J. Hilton RN School of Nursing, and she would like to share a little bit with you about the NCLEX Prep program. Thank you, Gail.
So in 2019, we were sponsored with the NCLEX Prep program, and this was called Keith RN. It gave our instructors the ability to pull from case studies, from different in-class activities, because the NCLEX is the licensure exam, and until you pass the NCLEX, you do not get the RN behind your name. So we are very rigorous and very big on starting our students in preparation for this exam from the time they step into our program. So this allowed us to utilize case studies. It allowed us to utilize in-class activities, especially when we had to flip our programs to virtual in a week. So we greatly appreciate your support.
Thank you, Gail. Thank you.
2020 was a year for the record books in a multitude of ways. The beginning of a pandemic, transition to all online courses for Ivy Tech students and faculty. Nationwide changes we were told would last 2 weeks ended up lasting far longer. Amazingly, in 2020, our Women in Philanthropy touted 85 members, raising $16,000 and awarding $18,500 to support 6 projects around campus. We fixed the floor in a storage trailer for our automotive department, providing a safer space for employees and students to maneuver the engines and transmissions being stored. This also gave an opportunity for our welding students to practice experiential learning as they installed the steel floor. Speaking of welding, our circle voted to fund replacing ventilation hoods in the welding department, providing cleaner and safer environments for students as they learn. Funds also supported replenishing the food pantry, also known as Ivy's Closet, providing access to food for many students. As an offshoot of this project, our circle helped lead the charge on Giving Tuesday that year to provide substantial support for the food pantry and for students in need, as well as their families. The dramatic shifts in teaching methods in 2020 revealed large gaps in access to technology for our students, both in terms of equipment like laptops and in internet access. As a result, our Circle funded internet hotspots for rural areas, which students can check out and borrow for as long as a semester at a time. But it doesn't stop there. We learned about the needs of students completing their high school equivalency exams and the barriers those students face with paying their exam fees. So we added that to the list and have funded hundreds of exam fees. Finally, in 2020, we were able to support the students on campus with charging furniture. You may have sat in some of them out in the front lobby there. These chairs have ports that will allow students working on their laptops, tablets, or phones to charge their equipment in the chair where they sit rather than having to sit on the floor near an outlet. And being a very old student, I can't tell you how grateful some of these folks had to be if they were not traditional students.
So I'd like to welcome Raina Tavares. Raina, yay! Raina's going to tell us a little bit about Ivy's Closet. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Ooh, what a powerful room right now. You guys look awesome and great. And of course, energy, right? So I really, truly want to thank you and thank your support of Ivy's Closet. In the past year, we've had, and I would say past year being 2021, and since the inception really of the pantry, we were 3 shelves and a plastic crate. And that's how our closet started. It was really humble, very small, humble beginnings, and it's grown to be a fantastic closet. We not only serve the students on the Evansville campus, but we also provide express tables outside of the Lankin Center. We have an express cart in the Commons, and we also have express carts in Princeton and Tell City. So the support of the Circle of Ivy has been incredible in terms of helping our students. If you can imagine, they have long days, lots of stressors outside of the classroom, and being able to have that outlet of support here on the campus means the world to them. In 2021, Ivy's Closet had over 50 visits, and we were able, through your generosity, to support over 100 men, women, and children with food items for the pantry. In addition, the pantry funds have also been able to solidify our partnership with the Tri-State Food Bank, and we've been able to purchase items that consistently keep our pantry stocked and fully equipped and able to service our students. So thank you so much. Your support means the world to us, our campus, and our students.
And I'd also like to introduce you to Vic Chamness, the Executive Director of Career Coaching and Employer Connections, who will give us an update on the funding of our high school equivalency exams.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. And thanks so much for being here, and especially for all your support. Our high school equivalency program and adult basic ed is through the Department of Workforce Development. And with your support, we've been able to pay for, as Sue said, the exam fees that the students have to take. The exam is in 5 parts, and they have to take all those to get their high school equivalency. The cost is $115 for those 5 parts of that exam. And we just recently funded 30 students, and so that's $3,450. And out of the $4,600 award that you provided us, we're going to continue to pay for students and their exams that they have to take. Was this picture today?
Yes.
So that was today. Some of the students working. I know it looks like, and obviously you can tell they're busy, but one of the things that we do is we provide as much one-on-one support to the students as much as possible to help them to make sure that they're successful and feel confident to get through the testing that is required. Obviously, many of them aren't quite comfortable with schooling, and so that's why they don't have their high school diploma. And by being able to have that one-on-one instruction, plus then being able to have support that is necessary to feel confident and being able to be successful in that exam is what really helps them to get through. And then one of the things that our office does is we work with them to hopefully introduce them to opportunities that are here at Ivy Tech. Some of them might want to go into a non-credit program, such as our CDL truck driving program, or into health sciences or IT or some other areas, and we really work with them to try to do that. And this picture was taken today at Princeton at our Ivy Tech site there, and then we also had a class going on here in Evansville as well. So we're very supportive, very appreciative, of course, of your support, and most importantly, we know that this is really changing lives because many of them, like I said, were not comfortable with education, but now we are getting them geared up so that they can reach that milestone to help them to be successful in whatever career they choose to pursue after that. So thank you again for all your support.
excited because this leads us into this year. So for 2021, and by the way, I'm sure you've caught this, but as we mentioned the year, we're talking about the fall in which we do that awarding. So this year coming up, we'll reference 2022 because it'll be fall 2022 when we award. So for 2021, this current academic year, our circle has grown to 102 active members, the second largest in the state. Yay! So thankful for all of you and for everything that you've done. Actually, before I go forward, I just saw John Durbin pop in. I'm going to give him 1 second. Don't everyone stare at the door because it might scare him.
John!
And it's John! Yay! Sorry for yelling at the microphone. John, you were just in time, actually. We were just ready to tell everyone about the welding hoods. So, here you go. John Durbin, everybody, the chair of our welding program.
Thank you. I have a class tonight, and I have students back there working right now, so I'm going to make this short. Circle of Ivy helped us out with our welding exhaust system. I purchased some exhaust systems for the welding lab, and then I found out I needed a little bit more to get them hooked up. So I asked Circle of Ivy for $3,000, and this has turned into a $50,000 project now. So the crew is coming in as soon as the semester's over, and they're going to start redoing all of our exhaust systems. So it's going to keep our welders safer and healthier. So thank you, Circle of Ivy.
Thank you so much, John. Okay, so for 2021, we had $17,000 that we were able to award for projects this year, which is really phenomenal. And just as a point of reference, from 2020, we awarded $18,500, but that was also because we had to take back a portion from the trip that wasn't used. So we raised $16,000 in 2020, $17,000 in 2021. We're going to keep on moving. So, some of our projects, we supported 4 projects this year. First and foremost, we supported the nursing lab equipment and study abroad. So nursing lab equipment, we helped with the purchase of certain needed items. They're actually, some of them are on the table over to the side here, so you can look and play with them when you are done. Don't drop anything, please. And then our study abroad program, those students are actually getting ready to leave later this month. We awarded 5 scholarships to students to participate in study abroad, where they'll spend 3 weeks looking at European capitals in Berlin, Paris, and Amsterdam. A trip I definitely would love to go on, and really an opportunity for those students that they may never get otherwise. It's not easy to get yourself all the way abroad, especially when you're working through school and everything else, so I'm so proud of those students for making it work so that they could do that, and really proud of our circle to be able to help support them on that journey. After that, we weren't done. We were helping to fund period poverty issues. Well, we didn't fund the issues, we fund the solutions. So period poverty, for those who aren't familiar with the term, those who were here for voting in the fall have probably heard it, and I apologize because my nose is just itching. The period poverty issue is something that actually can prevent women of any childbearing age from being in a classroom, and it's basically not having the funds to have accessibility to feminine hygiene products when you need them. And this is an issue that's bigger than just Ivy Tech, but as usual, it was identified by some of our fantastic staff, and they brought forward the proposal for the solution, and our circle stepped right up to do it. I will say not only did our circle step in to fund this project, but we also got several people who just dropped off feminine hygiene products for the circle, for the Ivy's Closet pantry to be used. And then, finally, Gloria's Garden. So, does this sound familiar? Was it something we already funded? Yes, it was. We started it, and we're going to finish it. I'm so proud of our Gloria's Garden process, and Alicia is going to tell us a little bit about that. But I'm really excited to see how a project that was the Circle's very first project to fund is now coming around literally full circle. And it's going to become a huge, fantastic outdoor space. And so I will share with you Alicia Amon, who will tell us more about this project. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm going to get out of the light. Okay, so Glorious Garden. As you saw in one of those earlier slides, the Glorious Garden started out with the flower boxes, and that helped get it kick-started. COVID paused it, like so many other things around here, and it was an opportunity to reset. As Liesl mentioned, there's this gorgeous design by our own interior design, and we will be able to do phase 1 of this now. The project is going out to bid next week, and we will be able to take care of the circle and 2 of the pathways. This project is closer to $100,000 in this form, but with the Circle of Ivy funds last year, it closed enough of the gap that we were able to at least get phase 1 for planting season this year, which we're really excited about, so that we can continue bringing the fresh food into Ivy Closet. We work with them. We're also going to have some of it go into our cafe, because we have the food voucher program through our cafe as part of our sustainable food issues being addressed. So we'll be able to support that with fresh food, support the closet with fresh food. We're also going to be, I've got notes, I'm not as good as the other speakers. We are also going to have faculty, staff, and groups from the community, like Girl Scout groups or the local schools. We want them to come in and volunteer with us and make this truly a community garden. Now, phase 2 will have the meditation area, the quiet space to sit. The middle circle is also a monarch butterfly.
Monarch way station.
Thank you. Weigh station. You can actually weigh them. No? I'm sorry, Vanessa. I know you love that joke. You love that joke. So we're going to have that as part of it. So now we're bringing our programs in with it, and we're looking forward to that being phase 2 next year. So I think that's all I have for now, but we're just excited that it's going out to bid this summer. Please volunteer with us, get your hands dirty, and let's start growing some things here.
Thank you. Yeah, come on, Raina. Sure.
Thank you. Yeah, props and bar props. So hi, it's Megan. And so I want to run you through an example of why period poverty became so important and an important initiative for the closet. As we grew the closet, again thanks to your funds, we found that there was an increasing need for feminine hygiene products. And we found that more often than not, we kept getting requests for it, and whenever we put those items out on our express tables, they were the first things gone. And thanks to your support, we joke in Lampkin, we were swimming in tampons at one point because there were so many donations that were given, and we really, really appreciate it. Part of what we did also was to create these bags, which we then placed in each department, because the last thing we want for any student, but especially for our female students, is to have to, in an embarrassing situation, have to retell their story every time. So, oh my goodness, this happened. Oh my goodness, this happened. So wherever they're at, they're technically 20 feet from one of these bags in each of their departments, okay? We've created over 30 of these. We've had volunteers help out with this, and it was an awesome, awesome, wonderful initiative. It was fun dropping these off in each of the departments. And again, the idea for this came when we had a student stop by in tears, came to my office with her book bag kind of hung down like that, and said, someone came and told me to talk to you, I have an emergency. And I said, what's your emergency? And she turned around, and I saw. And so we were able to, thanks to nursing, gave us some scrubs that we can put her in. We don't have to do that, we've got stuff now that we can help that student change out of. But she was embarrassed, she was in tears, and she was thinking about going home that day, and she had 2 more classes left. And so we were able to sort of soothe her, say, hey, this is okay, this is normal, normalize that, you know, it's not an embarrassing thing, it happens to the best of us, we've got some things that we got and got her right back in class again, thanks to your support. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
You want to pass that around?
Now, I want you to think back and remember when I mentioned that 2020 was a year for the record books. That was the year that our chancellor took the reins of the Evansville campus. Daniela Vidal embarked upon this journey with unsurpassed passion for the students, faculty, and staff of Ivy Tech, but only saw half of each of their faces for nearly a year. Still, she embraced her new position, shared her goals and visions, and has nurtured the Evansville campus in growth and advancement. Please welcome Daniela Vidal.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Sue, for those very kind words. And again, thanks all of you for the wonderful support that are current members of Circle of Ivy. And for those that are here new, thank you for being here and listening to these great stories. Hopefully you're as inspired. And I mean, wow. I mean, wasn't that deserves another round of applause. Amazing what has been accomplished over these last several years. It really has left me speechless, and I have learned so much of this history. I didn't know all of the previous years and all the projects, so this has been very inspirational for me, and I hope it's been for all of you as well. And again, it's really great to get to see all of you now, finally. A lot of the events, as Sue mentioned, I started in March of 2020. So literally started on a Monday and shut down on Friday, and then never saw anybody again for a year. So that was great. That was great. So it was, I was still drinking from a fire hose when Erica came and said, hey, we've got this thing called Circle of Ivy. And I'm like, what's that? And I said, well, it's Women in Philanthropy, and we do these things. I'm like, oh, that sounds great. She said, here's our goal, and we've got to keep going, and we're shut down. We have all these gatherings and social events, but we can't do any of them. And I'm like, okay, that's sounding promising. And then we've got these goals. I said, okay, well, I'm just going to reach out to all my wonderful women friends in this very generous community that's called Evansville, Indiana, and I just sent out a bunch of texts and phone calls and emails and Facebook requests to all the women that I know, and just magic just happened. We started, we doubled, I think, in size for that year, which was amazing, being in the middle of COVID. But again, it's an easy group to join, just because, as you saw, there's so many great things that happen with it. And the best thing that I like about Circle of Ivy, which is among many things that I like about Circle of Ivy, is that this is the one philanthropy group where you can have that direct impact and vote for those projects that you feel are most inspiring for you. So you know that those dollars that you're putting in, you have a say, you get to hear, you'll be doing that in the fall, you'll hear the projects that get proposed, you'll vote on them, and then you get to see the wonderful results. So that's just such a wonderful opportunity than just writing a check, like we do many other times for great causes, but this one, I think there's so much of that personal touch, and I think that's wonderful. So I really want to ask that you continue nourishing the growth and these great projects for our campus and our community and our students by renewing your membership, but also bringing a friend with you, which I know I have an example right here. I brought her last year and she brought a friend, so yay! That's what we want all of us to bring a friend, maybe sponsor. Another great thing would be to sponsor your daughter. I just filled out an application for my daughter Isabella, and get them to join these type of philanthropic organizations and causes early, because it's a great way to really experience the joy of giving, and I think that's what philanthropy is about. Like I said, as we see those great projects and hear those wonderful testimonials on how we've impacted our students, and not just Ivy Tech students, but high school and middle school students with the automotive, the go-kart program. It's just, it really, the ripple effects are many, and again, like Chris very greatly said, with the theme of tonight, we're planting seeds, and that's exactly, we're planting seeds not only, the way from our high schools and middle schools, but with our students and our community members. So once again, I would really like to thank you for your support. I would love to see everybody continue on as a member of the Circle of Ivy for many years to come, and I can't wait to see all the great proposals that we get this year. For those here that are Ivy Tech employees, again, I encourage you to submit those proposals. I know sometimes we've been going to the last minute and trying to say, come on, bring in your proposal. So I encourage you to dream big. You can see the generosity of our circle and what's possible. So keep dreaming big and submitting those great ideas that you have, as crazy or radical or that they may sound. You never know if, they might hit the spot and you get funded. So again, thank you so much. And with that, I turn it over back to Sue.
Thank you very much. All right. So I know that we have some new friends who are here tonight who are still kind of learning what Circle of Ivy is. And you may be wanting a little bit more information. And guess what? You're going to get it. So, I would like to share with you just kind of a breakdown for everybody who's new and those who may need to be reminded if you've been here before. The Circle of Ivy is our women's philanthropy circle. So as Daniela has outlined, you have a vote and you get to choose the funding for the local circle. Excuse me, I get so excited I can't even talk. With that said, when you join the Evansville Circle of Ivy, all of your dollars stay at the Evansville campus. And I think that's particularly important for a lot of people to know. It's not going into a statewide pool where it's allocated back out, but what you put in here stays here, and it supports students here in our community. So first and foremost, membership matters. The more members that we have, as you saw from our slide earlier, as we've grown, the more members that we have, the more students we can serve, the larger projects we can fund, and the more that we can give to others. So you can actually, well, we'll get to that next part in a minute. After we get membership, once the fall semester starts, usually at the end of August, we'll put out a call for proposals from our staff and faculty to find out what needs are available on campus that we can help to support. I will say, just as an aside, because I've written several grants for our campus, one of the things that people are often confused about is that, well, you're state funded, so you don't really need money. And I can tell you that is not any further from the truth than possible. It is not necessarily true, because the way that state budgets work, what's been allocated for a couple of years is not, your best program may not need to wait for 2 years. What if Raina was like, I'm sorry student, I can't help you for 2 more years until we have money to buy tampons. Like we have to look at the fact that sometimes the opportunities are right in front of us and we have community members that can support that. So we collect the proposals in the fall, and then we put them all together and we have a meeting where we vote about it. And we have presentations from the people who submit their proposals. We've done video presentations. We'll probably start working our way back towards live presentations now that we're getting more in person again, which I'm super thrilled about. And then we do have gatherings, and I will say your level of attendance is completely up to you. You can come as often as you like. We have some members who don't really have time to be engaged, but they follow the updates, and that's okay too. They just want to kind of know what's going on and they move forward. Anytime that we have something going on, of course, we're going to tell you. We try to do a couple of update meetings each year, like this one, just so that you know the status of the projects that you're funding. And also, if you ever miss one of those and you just want to call and ask what's going on with the project, I'm happy to talk to you about it. So we're here pretty much all the time just to help you guys feel connected with the students. And if you're not feeling that way, I definitely want to know. But I really try to make it connected. So Martha can tell you, she's like, yeah, she does. So that's how our circle works. And now is your opportunity for joining and renewing tonight. Sue, thank you.
Okay, let's see where I am here. So now, we have seen and heard about the differences that Circle of Ivy has made over time, and we are ready to look to the future. As we move forward, we encourage you to be perennials, rejuvenating yourselves each year with the Circle of Ivy. Just as the nourishment of the soil helps perennials flourish further, your nourishment of giving will allow our students to further flourish. You can also scatter more seeds by sponsoring student members in addition to your own membership. Lisa.
Thank you. You see, we try to switch it up. Okay, so on the tables in front of you, I know many of you have seen that there are some Circle of Ivy brochures. That also has a form on the back there that you can fill out for your membership or your renewal. There is a little wedding card style bird cage over on the side table, so if you are planning to do that renewal tonight, you can pop it in the envelope that's there so that all of your stuff stays together, put it in the bird cage, and I will take care of it for you. You also can renew by phone. The QR code will go straight to the renewal site if you need to pop it up on your phone and do that. And then I typed it out in case you just feel better about that inside. It's up to you. And then, very exciting, and I'm saying renew, but I mean renew and join, so I apologize for my language choices there. If you renew or join by Sunday, the 15th, this Sunday, this weekend, you will be entered in a drawing to win a massage with the Bellaterra Organic Spa and Shop, donated by our very own member, Yafia Burrell. So that's everything in terms of joining membership, and of course we're here to answer questions for you. I would be remiss if I didn't thank our amazing team of advisors that helped to pull this event together. Sue is one of them, and she was so kind as to MC as well. Martha Goldman is another fabulous member who sits on many Zooms with me and helps me to figure out what I'm trying to get in the vision and where we can go with it. Vanessa Fritz is our faculty advisor. When we have questions about how we might best to connect and engage with our faculty, Vanessa is right there to answer them for us, and we're so appreciative. We have a few other advisory committee members as well who help to answer questions when we need them. Jamel Thacker, thank you very much. And a couple who aren't present but are very much appreciated and always into it up to their elbows, Lisa Jones and Cindy Moore. So we're just so thankful for all of them, and I felt like you guys should all know the work that goes into that. And then, of course, we have sponsors for tonight, and I want to make sure that we thank them, because what these sponsors do is make sure that the dollars that you put into Circle of Ivy go straight to the students, and that there isn't anything deducted from your membership to pay for meetings such as this. So tonight, all of your beautiful centerpieces and plants are donated by Colonial Classics Gardening Center, and you are to take them home. Make sure they are all gone when you leave. The ones in the hallway too. And there's some extra plants that are just potted over here. If you could grab those, I'd appreciate it. Really, they were so generous. These are all live plants. They were last watered on Monday, so please make sure that you water them so they stay alive. But it was such a kind and generous donation. So thank you to them. Sheets Charles & Charles and the Jacob Ball Wish Fund will also help to support the expenses for this evening, and we're very grateful for that as well. And then we have 2 door prizes tonight. So of course we've mentioned our drawing on Sunday from the Bellaterra Organic Spa and Shop, and then we have a drawing for a gift card for the Nice Color Salon, and also for a nice gift bag from Gracie Bell, an independent sales director for Mary Kay. So I forgot to have you sign little cards for the drawing, so we're gonna just we're just gonna kind of do an airplane zoom, you know, and whoop. Okay. Melissa Kahn, would you mind grabbing that sign-in sheet from behind you? Oh, Okay, so my dad did that when I was a kid. He used to be like, here comes the bumblebee out of the barn with a bundle of hay under his arm. And now we all know way too much about these little Alright, want to make sure it's fair. Would you do the honors to me, Ellen?
Oh, do the soup? I was gonna hold the
Yes.
paper for you.
Sorry. You'll have to close your eyes too. Okay.
I will do those.
The first one is going to be for our nice color gift card.
Did that landed anywhere near me?
You landed on Alicia Amen. And you can do the second one. This will be for the Mary Kay gift bag. Woo. And that is Karen Lamond. So you guys will both get some pampering, and somebody else will get even more on Monday when we announce our winner from that drawing. So I'll make sure that gets emailed out, and you will of course be contacted by phone as well if you're the winner. That's it for this evening. Super excited that you guys were here. Thank you. I know you were like, oh, no, she's not done talking. Really, I do thank you very much for coming. I'm here if you have questions. There are several of us that are members that are here who can probably answer your questions. And thank you for our speakers for coming and sharing about your projects and giving those updates. Please make sure you take some food before you go as well. And have a great evening. Drive safely.